the Arizona Wildcats are 7-3.
What?
And the Cincinnati Bearcats go down.
Welcome on in to the AZ Wildcats podcast, live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. And if your team is not 7-3 or better, please hang up the phone and do not talk to me, because Kevin, we have a football program on our hands. We knew we had a basketball program on our hands. And is there any better time to be an Arizona Wildcat than right at this very moment? A ranked win versus Cincinnati the night before, beating your rivals in UCLA. This is going to go down, I think, as one of those like 2-day stretches in the history of this program that everyone remembers for the rest of their lives.
I mean, what a program. Dare I say we are a football school yet again.
That's actually the real reason I have sunglasses on, is because I'm really emotional under here. I've been crying. Kevin has had to console me off air before the show and be like, dude, are you ready to go? Can we go? And I'm just like, no one believes him, man. It's special.
Not only are you doing that because you got emotional, but you're doing it because the future is so damn bright for Arizona athletics right now. Women's basketball is winning. Men's basketball is winning. Softball's getting recruits. Brent Brennan is turning the season around, and dare I say, it was never turned around the other way in the first place. You and I might have been wrong about where this season was truly going the whole time. What a time to be an Arizona Wildcat right now. As you already alluded to, and as a score bug above me tells you, Arizona was able to get it done in the morning slate on the road against a top 25 team in Cincinnati. What a win, Damon Dog. What an absolute win. You tweeted the Chuck Cecil gif of him headbutting a player and then becoming a bloodied mess, as saying that was you watching this game with me, and it definitely was. As we know, we had a late night on the AZ Wildcats post-game, pre-game, and watch-along shows for Arizona versus UCLA. And transparency, I was tired during this game. However, you know who kept me
everything yesterday.
You know who kept me alive, kept me in this fight? Damon Dog, with his undying passion for this football program. I mean, he's living and dying with each play that Brent Brennan's squad is going on and playing out there. It was a beautiful game. It was a game that really built up tension in your heart, really had you clenching some certain parts of your body in this one at points as well. What a fun ride. As I said in my tweet, what a team, what a win. And I think we already talked about how good of a time right now it is to be an Arizona Wildcat. Basketball is moving, football is moving. But I do want to touch on one thing, one word, one mindset, one ideology, dare I say, that I think we all owe a slight apology to.
One religion, some might say.
Red line. Red line. I think when Brent Brennan started preaching...
Hook me up.
I think when Brent Brennan started preaching red line, Damon, it kind of fell on deaf ears. It was kind of like, okay, here's a coach kind of saying, be accountable, work hard, show up every day, do your job. And it kind of is like, okay, like these sound like platitudes. These sounds like things that every coach says to their team. However, once we've gotten into the season, week after week, win after win, heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking loss, this locker room, this team has the same messaging coming out of it. Red line.
Yeah.
After a win, we just got to continue red line. After a loss, we got to get back to red line. And you and I got on this post-game show a couple times and said, I'm tired of hearing about red line, man. Can we hear about some solutions for these issues that are plaguing this team in these close games against good programs? And the football program heard us and said, honestly, no. We're going to continue working on red line in this locker room, and look where it's gotten us. So I, for one, would like to apologize to Brent Brennan for criticizing at times his use of red line saying that it might have been an excuse to not really have some substance in the postgame, when in reality, red line seems to be the substance that is getting Arizona to these wins. Belief in the program, belief in one another on the team, belief in that coaching staff. It feels real. Arizona is a couple breaks away from being a one-loss team right now. Man. Right now. And they're 7-3. We're going bowling, and now it's about how good of a bowl can we get into. And mathematically, we're not out of the Big 12 title picture yet either. Destiny is truly in control of the Arizona Wildcats in a lot of different ways. And I think in many ways, I'm not going to speak for you, owe a lot of this program an apology on a day like today when they go out on the road and get it done versus a top 25 team.
Listen, Kevin, I'll eat some crow too. Like, as much as no one wants this football team to be better than me, and I think that is a bona fide fact. Like, I don't know if that's even a debate, Kevin. Like, you watch these games with me. I'm losing my mind. I'm a crazy person. But that being said, I wasn't fully, like, entrenched in Brent Brennan FC. Like, I definitely, have had my problems and have had my times where I've said, like, that I'm done. How can you win with this guy? You can't win with them on the road. And then he goes into a ranked opponent in an East Coast time zone in an early kickoff, and he wins on the road. We can go ahead and squash that narrative because it's not about Brennan's inability to win on the road. It's about the team that you have in place. And it's clear as day that last year's team was just soft. And it wasn't T-Mac's fault, and it wasn't Noah's fault, and it wasn't, a lot of the bigger name guys who came back, Dalton, Genesis, those players, right? Like, we're seeing that right now. But it was the players who needed to be coddled in order to stay. The players that Brent Brennan felt uncomfortable, pressing back on or being like, hey, Tacario Davis, it'd be nice if you showed up to meetings on time, Because, if I call you into my office, I shouldn't have you threatening to leave to go to Washington like that, right? Because your name's still in the portal and you're holding this at ransom. And that's just an example, but there were other guys like that as well. And now you're seeing what a truly locked-in Brent Brennan Arizona football team looks like. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty damn good. And like you said, you're a couple breaks from being in true Big 12 title contention, in true college football playoff contention. But yeah, man, what a special day. And you're right, Kevin. I didn't get a chance to speak to it, but when you brought up the part about me keeping you energetic and into this game, I mean, I'm full scale, like screaming finish at the TV when we need to stop. Like, I'm telling Kevin during the game, they need me on the sideline right now. Because I'd be grabbing face masks, slamming my head into it like Chuck Cecil. Like, this game fired me the F up. It really, really did. And as Max said, like, it kind of reminds you of the, day that Arizona had back in 2015, the New Mexico Bowl comeback, or 2012, the New Mexico Bowl comeback, along with the buzzer beater Mark Lyons shot against top 10 Florida at McHale in one day. I know this was 2 days, but when you look at the time stamps, it's still within a 24-hour window, and it's been a special 24-hour window at that. I do want to say, though, shout out our friends over at Branded Bills for presenting this post-game show, this Arizona W, and of course, my head every single time that I'm on this podcast, because all I do is wear Branded Bills because it's the premium headwear and apparel in the game. And of course, if you're not rocking the campus collection and you're an Arizona fan, you're just doing it wrong. Appreciate everybody for being here in this chat. Please drop a like on this video if you haven't done so already. We're having a great time here on a post-game party edition of Arizona versus Cincinnati. But Kevin, I think that's enough beating around the bush here. Let's talk about Noah Fifita.
Let's do it.
Noah Fifita breaks a record today, becoming the all-time Arizona touchdown leader in career touchdown passes, passing Nick Foles, passing Willie Tuitama, who, of course, there was a three-way tie at the top with going into this game, and had passed Khalil Tate a little bit earlier in this season as well. What a special quarterback Arizona has in place, and what a special dude Noah Fifita is in general. You couldn't be happier for a guy like that. You couldn't have a better representative of this program. The guy just Like when you look back at these record books, Kevin, and you see Noah Fifita at the top, that's one of those ones that's just going to make you smile, man. It's going to make you happy because he's earned it. And now he has an opportunity to grow on that. He has the rest of this season, a bowl game, and all of next season, potentially. And it's like Arizona and Noah Fifita. Noah Fifita is carving out a real legacy here in Tucson. And I know that's important to him. I know that's a big reason why he stayed. And you're seeing it play out here in a big way in 2025, which is just so great to see after the debacle that was last season.
Do we build the statue like this upcoming weekend?
I'm down.
Or in between games?
I'm down.
Should the statue be unveiled against, our next home opponent, whether it be Baylor, I think? I think Noah Fifita, we had some questions to start this stream in the chat about, is he the GOAT, right? I don't know if Noah Fifita is the GOAT of all football. However, he might be the GOAT of Arizona football. And I know that he might not have the accomplishments that some people want. Some people take into account what you do once you leave Arizona. So Noah Fifita will likely never be able to surpass Nick Foles in his Super Bowl championship. But if we just want to look at the conversation in a vacuum of who is the best quarterback to ever play for the University of Arizona, Noah Fifita's hat should undoubtedly be in that ring. Noah Fifita's name should undoubtedly be a part of that conversation because of the actual ability he has as a quarterback, his ability to deliver the ball accurately, deliver an accurate deep ball, his ability to get out of the pocket, his ability to avoid tackles, avoid pressure. He is everything you want in a quarterback. He's loyal, he's skilled, he's a leader.
Yep.
He's not showy. He's about the program. He can't be wooed for millions of dollars when things get rough.
His teammates love him.
He is everything you want in a leader of your program. And to see him get this record under his belt, I'm going to say so early because he has a lot of time left, knocking on wood, if he stays healthy with the University of Arizona and stays for another year next year. He could put this record, in theory, out of reach for quite some time.
Yeah.
And so it's going to take somebody special to unseat Noah Fifita from this record, but it is a very special quarterback in Noah Fifita that has surpassed Nick Foles, Khalil Tate, Willie Tuitama, and the rest of the lineage of Arizona quarterbacks. It's a pleasure to see him. And honestly, how storybook was it that it wasn't just some first quarter irrelevant touchdown where, okay, Arizona goes up 7-0, but then Cincinnati comes back and ties it, so that touchdown technically didn't even really matter that much. This was a touchdown that went on to win you this football game. This was a touchdown when you needed it most. This was a ball to Kris Hutson, plays before that 10 quarterbacks in the country make with regularity? That ball was unbelievable. You talked about the catch, and I'm not saying it was not a good catch, because that catch by Kris Hutson was incredible on the sideline. But that throw hit him right in the chest, gave him an opportunity to make an unbelievable play. So yeah, Noah Fifita, it goes without saying that tonight, or today, because it was an early game, he is our king of A Mountain. 23 for 21, 294 yards.
That would be pretty special if he was 23 for 21.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, 23 for 31.
He actually completed more passes than he threw today. What a quarterback this guy is.
23 for 31. At least I got it right on the graphic. 294 and a touchdown, and that one touchdown sealing himself and etching himself into the record books forever at Arizona.
Yeah, and there's a comment up here a little bit in the chat, Kevin, from Dylan Thomas Miller, who says, maybe an overreaction, but Noah moved to #1 on my all-time Wildcats list today, or all-time Wildcats today. Listen, I don't know if he's the #1 quarterback, all things considered, when you look at Nick Foles and, you really draw back the tape and look at, the caliber of quarterback that he was in college at Arizona. Obviously, Nick Foles played in 2 pretty big-time bowl games. Noah Fifita has a chance to match that as well. Noah Fifita has a win. Nick Foles does not have a bowl win. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's better than Nick Foles all time. Here's what I will say. Noah Fifita is on a lot of people's lists as #1 all-time Wildcat. And that includes basketball players, too.
Wow.
That's how special this dude is. He transcends the line of Arizona basketball versus Arizona football, where we all know basketball is king. We all know, that there's not as locked in of a fan base for football reasons, right? But Noah Fifita transcends that. He is every bit the star player that, you know, all of the basketball stars at Arizona have been, and he deserves it, man. He, like, one of the most likable, easy to root for guys of all time, and now in the record books all time as Arizona's leading passer. I wonder, what do you think Brian Edwards is saying nope about?
Maybe nope to him being the GOAT of Arizona football.
Well, I didn't say he was the GOAT of Arizona football.
Or maybe the note to Sean's question about us being playing for a spot at Jerry World if there was not a phantom PI call. I don't know. Brian Edwards, let us know.
Here's what I will say. If it's nope about Noah Fifita being a lot of people's all-time favorite Wildcat, we need him banned. Like, out the chat. Like, we've never banned anyone on this chat since Kevin and I have been a part of it. I'm ready. I got a trigger finger itching right now, being like, you say one bad word about my sweet Noah, he's
saying he does not transcend to basketball.
He absolutely does, though. That's the thing, is he absolutely does. We don't talk about, you know, Koa Pete statues because a lot of the basketball players that are the best here don't spend 4 years here. Whereas Noah Fifita is going to be a 4-year starter at Arizona with some of the best moments that we've seen, right? Rebuilding the program and sticking with the program when in the bad times, and then being back for the good times, right? And being a driving force for that reason. Obviously basketball is always going to be king, but I think that this is one of the special football players that comes around every once in a generation that is, you know, truly one of the stars on campus, every bit as big as the basketball stars.
I'm with you. He is saying that Sean Elliott. I'm not sure if he's saying that Sean Elliott should be ranked higher all time than Noah Fifita, or that Sean Elliott is the only player that transcends both. I don't know exactly what he's trying to say with that one, but I do think
Brother,
that
I would have loved to have watched Sean Elliott, but I wasn't kicking in the 80s. My dad was in school at that time. So I don't know what you want me to say to that.
That's crazy, son. That is crazy. Time really does fly. But I will say, like, we can argue back and forth all day about who is truly number one all time across all sports for Arizona. That is going to be an argument that is never ending. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on it. Everyone's going to have their own math for it. But I think one thing that everyone, including Brian Edwards, can agree is that if you are doing a football and basketball GOAT list, are you leaving Noah Fifita off the list completely? I don't think that you can, right? I feel like his contributions, his representation of the program, his representation of the city of Tucson, I think it deserves him to at least be in the conversation. I'm not saying he has to be your number one, but he has to be in the conversation.
He's on. I know, like, listen, we're younger. Again, like, I'm not going to know what it was like to watch Sean Elliott, so he can't be on my all-time, like, Mount Rushmore. But Fifita's for sure on my Mount Rushmore of favorite Arizona athletes that I've ever watched.
Same.
That's not even a question. And yeah, shout out Noah Fifita for breaking that record. I know all Arizona fans are pretty fired up about that one. So appreciate everybody who is in this chat. We're going to talk more about what this win means for Brent Brennan. We got to give out some awards as well. And then I want to answer a question that McDeath put in the chat in regards to our coordinators. We'll do all that and more on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. It's the AZ Wildcats pod.
Earlier, if you were here for our pregame show, you would know that Damon and I, before every game, partake in a little bit of firing of shots. Taking some shots and firing some shots with our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila. Now, around here, Damon and I, we cheer very hard, we celebrate very hard, and we always keep it local. You see the state flag on Damon's head right there in the beautiful Arizona colors. That's why Three Amigos Tequila is a staple for Arizona fans. Family owned from right here in Arizona, founded in 1939 and crafted in Mexico with 100% blue Weber agave. It's award winning for a reason. Smooth, bold, and made for moments that matter. That Ramona's Reserve that me and Damon just polished off earlier today on the pregame show is absolutely special. This is not from their copy, but it's from my personal testimony. It has the 3 S's that you want in a good liquor. It's smooth, it's a little sweet, and it's well spiced. That's that Ramona's Reserve. If you're not into that, though, they do have some añejo. They have some extra añejo as well. Shane has that in his office because he's gatekeeping it. It's so good, he's gatekeeping it. I'm just going to keep it real. This tequila is so good, you won't want to hide it from your friends because you're going to want it all to yourself. But if you do want to share, because that is the season. It is the season of giving. As West Virginia might give ASU a loss, Tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos. Shout out to Three Amigos.
That felt...
No, I didn't do a voice.
That felt like cultural appropriation.
So wait. So we can say Aussie in a normal voice with no accent.
Correct.
But I can't say I.
Are you not clocking the difference there?
I'm clocking what you're trying to accuse me of, but I didn't do a voice. That could have been Willem Dafoe saying I for all you know, man.
You did the LeBron Taco Tuesday style right there, but I gotta tell you guys.
If Bryce's dad can do it, we can do it on the podcast.
I gotta start. Listen, Kevin, I'll tell you number one thing I need to do to save myself some money is start maybe eating in a little bit more. Start doing some Taco Tuesday at the house on Tuesdays. And you know who told me that? My friends over at Monarch. Monarch is the built-in lifestyle app that's gonna help you save on your finances. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. And with promo code PHNX at monarch.com, you're going to get half off your first year, 50% off your first year with promo code PHNX at monarch.com. Guys, Monarch is a lifesaver. It's a game changer. I know Kevin has Monarch, and it is helping me save as well. It's, you never look at your bank account, you start seeing, some unwanted subscriptions, maybe a trend in terms of spending a little bit too much money on a daily coffee if you're, potentially someone like me. Monarch is going to help find those issues, weed them out, and tell you how you can save the most money week by week so you can stack money over time and live a more financially stable life. That's why we love our friends over at Monarch. And like I said, with that promo code of PHNX, you'll get 50% off your purchase of Monarch for the year. That's a year-long subscription for 50% off with our promo code of PHNX. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Monarch, hit them up today.
And as we know, I'm a personal Monarch money user myself. I do want to shout out to Monarch. Damon, there is a lot to talk about with this Arizona football game. However, we do have an Arizona State football game versus West Virginia going on right now. And we have some updates, Damon Dog. Throw on the hater blockers because per the chat, we got West Virginia in the lead, 24-22. In the second half, West Virginia has 221 total yards to Arizona State's 75. And they're kicking off. It's 23-22 for the record. And ASU is going to get this ball on their half of the field. We need Rich Rod to get his revenge against the Sun Devils in this one. How sweet would that feel?
No comment. But yes, that's a little ode to my favorite movie of all time for the people that are out there that get it. If you know, you know. But man, Kevin, could this weekend get any more special? The answer is yes.
I was going to say yes if Arizona State loses to Rich Rod, and if JDM knocks out Makhachev tonight, I might be walking on cloud 9. Like, you might not even see me on Monday because I might not have descended down from the clouds yet. It might be 3 to 5 business days before I'm descending from that level of altitude, Damon. The high that you and I will receive.
Dog, 90-yard touchdown pass is crazy.
Yeah, bro. This is incredible.
What has gotten into these guys? What's interesting is they just had a drive right now that was 10 plays, 72 yards. So they're moving the football these last couple of drives. Even if ASU gets a field goal, I think you got to, if you're West Virginia, feel decent about your chances there. But man, that would be something, wouldn't it? Jeff Sims fumbling the ball on a QB sneak. Kevin, how could anyone have possibly seen this coming?
Oh, no.
I thought he was Jeff Hims.
Oh, no.
And by the way, you can hear an absolute pin drop at PHNX HQ3. We got 3 rowdy ASU fans in the lobby watching the game. They were going nuts earlier when
they were so
ASU
confident that they were
lead.
they were rooting for us because obviously this benefits their Big 12 title hopes.
Yeah.
So Eric is all about an Arizona W. Totri is all about an Arizona W. And I'm not trying to bash him. I'm saying that's a good reason to want to be in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
They have every reason to cheer for us. However, you can't then lose this game. This game means everything for the ASU
Sounds like they
boys,
got a big play right there.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
We're going to find out
Carl in
from
the
them
chat
the entire time.
bringing up something that I said to Damon while the intro was rolling. Kevo, just compress and archive sad music intro, stick it on a thumb drive, and delete it from the soundboard. I'll go one further. I'll take that thumb drive, drive out into the mountains, find a remote area, bury it, and then knock myself over the head, get amnesia, forget where I buried it so we can truly never find it again. Because we might not ever need it again, especially if Arizona basketball defeats UConn in Stores this upcoming Wednesday. Man, it could get crazy. But we do have more football to talk about, so let's get into that with our by the numbers in this one. Arizona gets it done, 30-24 versus Cincinnati, an upset of a top 25 team on the road in a game that top 25 team absolutely had to have, unless it was against Brent Brennan, because Brent Brennan said 6 ain't enough for me. We're throwing for 294 to their 154. We're running for 181 to their 190. Now, I know that Cincinnati does outrush Arizona, but I think, Damon, you and I spoke about this in the middle of the game. With Brendan Sorsby being a little bit hampered in this one, that rushing total, yes, it could have been larger, but I'm just thankful that it didn't surpass 200 because you had a quarterback that you knew had to throw the ball at the end of the game. Their backup running, or not their backup running back, but Evan Pryor, the pride of Cornelius, North Carolina, he's out of this one. And I think that's a lot of why that rushing, stats is so close. Despite Kedrick Reesino going for a 50-yarder and Ishmael Mahdi having a couple nice runs in this one as well. 2 turnovers for Cincy to Arizona's none. The turnover sword gets broken in twice tonight.
3 times if you count the turnover on downs late in the game, which I assume they probably did stick a football on it because they do count that. So
the stat broadcast did not count that.
Well, no, they never do, but Arizona does, which I kind of understand. It is a turnover.
It is a turnover, yeah, to the point where I'm like, I should probably start counting those in these turnover stats because that is a turnover. You force them to give up the ball, to forfeit the ball. That's neither here nor there. Argument for another day. 3 penalties for 25 yards against Arizona to Cincinnati's 5 penalties for 58 yards against them. Damon, anything sticking out to you?
Yeah, I mean, outgaining Cincinnati by over 100 yards is pretty impressive in particular. I think that turnover margin was always going to be massive in this game. Brendan Sorsby had 2 picks coming into today, and he threw 2 interceptions to Arizona today, both courtesy of Dalton Johnson. I know Javion Cole got the credited interception, but what a tip up in the air by Dalton Johnson early in this one. Thought Dalton Johnson was firing all over the place today, Kevin, making some big tackles, making some big hits. Yeah, man, what an incredible performance by this defense, especially after the way they were getting ran on early. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a long game. I mean,
it was slice and warm butter.
Dude, it was 25 yards per clip early in the game. That's not an exaggeration. Tywee Walker had about 4 carries for about 100 yards. It was insane. And then Arizona just buckles down. Danny Gonzalez makes adjustments, and this defense becomes unstoppable, essentially. We know how good they are passing or against the pass. We know how good they are. But they've struggled against the run, and they made a big adjustment today in terms of figuring that out. Another component that needs to be talked about is Brendan Sorsby did get hurt. And Arizona, I know that's like maybe the game can go differently because obviously this team struggles, especially in the second half when they get tired against QB runs in particular. But, you finally got a little bit of luck in that regard, right? Like, how many of these running quarterbacks are going to just have like their best game against Arizona and run the ball 30 times and be perfectly healthy when they get tackled every play? Like, that makes sense that one of those finally turned out to be an injury. And you took advantage of it. So shout out this defense for sure. Let's go ahead and give some awards out. I did mention Dalton Johnson. I want to talk about Dalton Johnson and what he accomplished today, Kevin. Special stuff. MVP Noah Fifita breaks a record, deserves it, has a really good game in the process as well, right? Finishes with almost 300 yards, has 0 interceptions again, 1 touchdown. Solid game from Fifita. Maybe not his best game in the entire world, but took care of the football and basically I think controlled the flow of the game, especially in that second half. Offensive player of the game, we're giving it to him as well. Could have been maybe Kris Hutson, could have been Kedrick Reesino potentially, but I think that Noah Fifita on a night like today deserves it.
49-yard field goal attempt. Arizona State down 1. 4th and 4. He kicks it. It's up. It's money.
Wow.
So we will have Arizona State up 25-23, 2:44 left. West Virginia about to get the ball back. Just wanted to update all of our hate watchers here in the chat as to what is going on in that game. If you're not watching, we can now get back to the awards.
Yeah, getting back into this, Dalton Johnson, as I already mentioned, defensive player of the game, and for good reason, right? I mean, he had the tipped up interception. He got a pick on his own as well. And then even on like that fourth down where ball gets completed to a guy that is in his vicinity, I mean, he's laying the boom. And the guy holds onto the football, but really, really big hits from Dalton Johnson all night long. What did you see from Dalton? What did you see from these DBs in general and just, I guess, this entire defense, Kevin?
Bad humor. Shout out to Danny Gonzalez. Shout out to Carl Schroeder in the chat. Bad humor. They were really playing aggressive.
Something about when you say it, I don't like it. I like it when football guys say it. When a basketball guy comes with his little foo-foo basketball talk and he starts being like, this defense is playing with violence. I'm like, stay over there, basketball man. Lace up your shoes and let the boys put the strap up their helmets, you know?
Am I wrong, though? Did I lie? Because they were coming to the ball with bad humor. Very aggressive, very violent, really trying to knock the ball loose simply off of the force of their hit.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with that. It felt like the defense was playing like this game truly mattered, which it did. And you love to see that resonate with your team. And I think Dalton Johnson was kind of the spearhead of that, literally from snap number one. He's out there tipping a pass for an interception. And I think that kind of like tempified and went on to set the tone for the rest of this team. Yeah. Right? The level that they were going to have to play today to make plays and get it done. You got a prime example of that on the first snap of the game. Brendan Sorsby had 2 interceptions all year coming into this game. And he has 2 today, I think, right? Yeah, 2 today. Could have had 1 more as well, I believe. It's just an incredibly impressive game from this Danny Gonzalez defense that has been incredibly impressive all season. Not without their issues, obviously, but really what unit is without their issues and is without complaints for a full season. I'm just happy with the growth that they've experienced and they've shown up to this point. They've gotten you this far. Can they get you 2 more W's and really see where this season goes? But yeah, very impressed with Dalton Johnson. He was our defensive MVP for a reason, making plays consistently throughout this one. Kind of got away with a bit of a targeting, but we're not going to talk about that.
Thank God they didn't call that, man. I was so scared.
It was kind of textbook, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it probably should have been called. I'm not going to lie.
But anyway, yeah, no, he played very well despite the lapse in judgment, potentially targeting somebody, but didn't get called, so it's fake news, and it never happened.
Too tough.
Exactly. Shout out to Dalton Johnson. Shout out to Danny Gonzalez. Shout out to this defense. And yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Listen, it's only targeting if it gets called, Kevin. If it doesn't get called, it's actually just called a big hit.
Totally.
That's the new rules of football,
1000%.
essentially. But yeah, man, great game from this defense. Great game from Danny Gonzalez for sure, in particular. And it was McDeath, I think, who put up in the chat. Is Brent Brennan? It was a long time ago. You might have to search it in. Is Brent Brennan, Seth Dagey, and Danny Gonzalez all going to return next season? And my answer to that would be Brent Brennan, absolutely. There's no question about that. Danny Gonzalez, I think, is a man who just had a opportunity to be a head coach. It didn't go as well as you would want. It was at his alma mater. If it was going to work anywhere, it was probably going to be at New Mexico, right? And now he finds himself at a bigger program than New Mexico, but in a state that he's familiar with, that he's comfortable in. He's been at ASU before and for a long time. He talks about how much he loves Tucson. I'm sure it reminds him of being in Albuquerque. I would be shocked if Danny Gonzalez was moving on from this program. Seems like he's completely locked in on U of A. Now, Seth Dagey, I'm not saying he's not, because I think he very much is. But that is the candidate and profile of a coordinator that a bigger name program might go after, especially if they like what they see, right? Especially if they feel comfortable with him from a recruiting sense. I think we're probably still a year away from that, but it wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world if Seth Dagey, for some reason, was poached by some school. But that's kind of my rundown of those 3 coaches at the top and whether or not you should expect them back at Arizona next year.
I kind of feel like you should expect all 3 back. Now, hear me out. I understand that it's modern college football.
For sure. You should expect all three back, I think, in the sense of expectation.
Yeah.
Seth Doege, I expect to be back at U of A next year. All I'm saying is that I think he's the only one that has a chance of the three of potentially not being back.
I agree with that.
Let you digress.
I agree with that, and I'm glad you clarified that. I agree with it, and I think where we might differ, though, is I would be shocked if Seth Doege were to leave for a bigger program next year or a bigger job next year. And I'm not saying he should pass up an opportunity to help himself and his family elevate their life in the way that they want to. However, what I am saying is it doesn't feel like something that would line up with what Seth Doege's mindset is at right now. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying, what has Seth Doege been talking about since he joined here as to his why for being the Arizona OC? Well, I believe in Brent Brennan. I want to help Brent Brennan get this program to where I know it can be. I want to help know if he has been about everybody else this whole time.
I agree with that.
I have not heard one personal goal out of Seth Doege this whole year. Now, I'm not going to say he doesn't got, I think, we all know he's so driven, so ambitious. He has those goals. He's spoken about wanting to be a head coach in the future, right? Brent Brennan is a guy that is been in shoes that he wants to walk in or something along the lines of something he actually said in the past. But I think in the short term, he is so focused on becoming a better coach and a better coordinator and helping Brent Brennan. I would be shocked if he left because it would feel like a lesser extent of when Jedd Fisch left after preaching family. So I would kind of feel slapped in the face if Seth Doege were to leave for a program or a job that, without necessarily finishing what he started here with Brent Brennan. Because I think that's what he wants, to finish what he started this year with Brent Brennan and hopefully compete for a Big 12 title next year if that is, what they are trying to build towards. So I would be kind of shocked if Seth Doege left. Honestly,
I hear you, and I don't know if I said I wouldn't be shocked. I don't remember what my exact vernacular was, so I apologize if I did say that. But I think that I would be shocked if Seth Doege was gone. I'm saying that's again that was the one that I'm like, there's a chance for sure. And yeah, I mean, listen, when you hear Seth Doege talk about Brent Brennan, like you're saying, when he gets asked about Brent Brennan, he almost gets emotional. And Seth Doege's a very he has such a way with words, right? He's so direct with what he means, and he just comes out and he says it. But you see a little bit of emotion get into his eyes, and then he starts talking about the way this guy cares about my family, the way this guy cares about my daughter. It's different here, and I want to use that and build that at my program when I'm a head coach one day. I agree with you. I think that he means what he says when he says those things. We all knew. I hear you lost Highway. I know that you're going to say all football coaches are BS and slimy. I think we knew Jedd Fisch was slimy when we hired Jedd Fisch. I think that we were just holding on to hope that what he said a week ago, he would stay truthful to and be like, you know what? I'm not leaving. Cool. We can believe him, right? We always knew Jedd Fisch was going to leave. We just didn't know it was going to be that year. Seth Doege, I think, he's been clear that he wants to go to a new football program and build it in his own image because he wants to be a head coach someday. Or maybe he wants to do that at Arizona. He wants to be a head coach, though. But I will say that, I believe him when he says that this program means something to him, and specifically this coaching staff means something to him. We'll see. Maybe it's BS. We'll find out in the offseason. But we got to finish out this award trackers here. And let's start with our transfer player of the game, who lost Highway, also said should have been offensive MVP, and I think very, very fair. I think if you're going based off of maybe just single game performance, Kris Hutson probably could have been the offensive player of the game. We gave it to Noah Fifita in large part because he broke a big time record today. Thought that is kind of important in terms of accolades that need to be handed out. But Kris Hutson was unbelievable. He was very, very reliable whenever you needed him. 123 yards, 8 catches, Kevin, and a ton of those came on third down. When you really needed big-time grabs. Kris Hutson was great. Noah Fifita was great. And Kris Hutson is our transfer of the game, beating out probably one who else played pretty. Cameron Barmore had a massive catch, man. Massive catch. Luke Wysong had a massive catch. These receivers really showed out today. They did. And it wasn't like the craziest of performances. Gio Richardson had the drop early that hurt you. But then he bounces back to catch Noah Fifita's record-breaking pass, right? And what a player Gio Richardson looks like he's going to be as he develops at Arizona. Kris Hutson, we already talked about. Chris Hunter, we mentioned briefly, but one-handed snag, probably being interfered with. Unbelievable connection that he has on the deep ball with Noah Fifita. Need to see more of that throughout the rest of the season. And then Cam Barmore, 4 catches, 31 yards. And, just looks like the tight end that Arizona needs to give the bulk of the playing time to. And you saw that happen today. This guy, he continues to get better and better. His blocking, it looks solid, which was the big holdup on him. And what a big time catch, especially on that fourth down that he made.
I mean, this is a big time game from Kris Hutson in the sense that you knew he was capable of putting up these performances because he's done it once or twice so far this season. But in a game like this, where you needed someone to make plays, where you needed someone to get separation consistently, where you needed, I said it on the postgame for basketball, but I'll use it again here, that pressure release valve, right? Where Noah Fifita's kind of scrambling around a little bit, not being able to find anybody. Oh, Kris Hutson has come back to the ball and made a play. Let me find him, right? And he actually does make some pretty tough catches in this game as well. So shout out to, are you talking about an ASU update?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to throw an interception on your own 44 when you just need a field goal for the W? We need 20 yards, Scotty Fox. The one thing we can't do is turn the football over.
I had that one on my laptop here in front of me, and I was very disappointed in
I guess
Scotty
it was
Fox.
4th and 4, so.
It was 4th and 4.
Stop throwing it at Keith Abney.
Yeah, not ideal.
Damn it, people.
Not ideal. But at least Disney channels are back on YouTube TV. We won.
We actually did win.
We actually did. Yes. Well,
yeah, and ASU can only hope to match us. 7-3. Congrats, guys. You matched U of A. Congrats. Good stuff.
I love that. The Territorial Cup this year is going to be absolute cinema. It really is.
Dude, we never get years with the Territorial Cup where these two teams are similar caliber. It's always one team is pretty good and the other team is just absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Right? And it's cool to finally get a year where maybe both teams aren't world beaters, but both teams are solid football teams that are 7-3, have a 700 win percentage, both of them, and don't beat themselves. They play good football games, right? So it's going to be a really interesting game against ASU up here in Tempe this year. Hopefully, all you guys in the chat make your way out there because we need as many Wildcats in that building as possible. Speaking of the chat, appreciate everybody for being here. AZ Cat Dan, $5. Cheers to you, Damon and Kevin. We appreciate everything you do. Bear down and go Cats. Appreciate you, AZ Cat Dan. One of the OGs, one of the GOATs of this chat for sure. I was talking about Mount Rushmore's AZ Cat Dan, definitely on my chatter Mount Rushmore for sure. Yes. But let's talk a little bit more about this game. Let's talk about what this means for the rest of the season and how Arizona has a path to the Big 12 title game. Huh? We'll do that right after the break here on the AZ Wildcats pod.
If you have been hit by Dalton Johnson on the football field and have experienced a serious injury, you should call the husband and wife law team. Or if you've just been in an accident, experienced an actual serious injury in your real life, or unfortunately a wrongful death, the husband and wife law team are your go-to firm for this. Now, write this phone number down, and by the end of the read, you're going to want to make sure to call them or at least bookmark it so when you do need them, they're available. The number is going to be 602-783-8841. 602-783-8841. That is the number for the husband and wife law team. Specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. We tell you all the time that the Arizona State Bar has only certified less than 1% of all lawyers that they certify as specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. Survey says, guess who's certified in serious injury and wrongful death litigation? The husband and wife law team. And they actually go to trial. So if your case is serious enough to require going to a trial, the husband and wife law team and their people are experienced trial lawyers. They are ready for that experience. They know their way around a courtroom and what it takes to prevail in front of a jury. And that is the key. And if you want to get a hold of them at any time, you can do that because they are dedicated to you and they are dedicated to injury and wrongful death litigation. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website in the link in our show notes and tell them that PHNX sent you.
Shout out husband and wife law team. Shout out our friends over at Rally House as well. In preparation for the Territorial Cup, we have some content plans in the works with our friends over at Rally House. Kevin and I may be going to go over to a Rally House and grab a haul for the boys here in preparation for the big game. And guys, if you're not familiar with Rally House's game, you guys need to be as soon as possible, because if you're a sports fan, Rally House goes hand in hand with that. They obviously have the ultimate collection of apparel when it comes to shirts, shorts, jackets, hoodies, hats, you name it, right? But they go a step further, Kevin. Rally House has everything that you could ask for, team branded. I know Jack, Kevin's dog, has a St. Louis Blues dog collar he got from Rally House.
That is a fact.
I just bought a Arizona Wildcats dog toy for my dog that I got on Rally House. This is the kind of things that you can come to expect. Wall decorations, furniture. I mean, you name it, Rally House has it. You know what I saw the other day, Kevin, on Rally House? This is just the perfect example of what they have over there. It was so cool. A metal cutting board that has an Arizona Wildcats floor, home basketball floor, and then a cutting board along with it to use for like charcuterie and stuff. On Rally House's website, special stuff going on over at rallyhouse.com. You guys are going to need to go check it out for yourself. The best part about Rally House is that they only cater to the local fans in that city or state. So if you go to a Rally House location in Arizona, of which there are 3, East Valley, Central Valley, West Valley, you will only find Arizona gear, that being, of course, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, U of A, and of course, those other guys that we don't need to talk about. Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at www.rallyhouse.com.
Yeah, Carl in the chat absolutely nailed it. I am on the way right now to find that cutting board. And Damon, they have a football one too, with a holder for the knife in the board.
Do we need to get...
That's fancy-ish right there.
Yeah, do we need to get a basketball one for you and a football one for yours truly?
I mean, I think we do. My girlfriend is constantly trying to get me to cook for her. Not like I can't cook, but she is a chef, so why would I not?
Isn't that fancy, though?
I mean, that is classy.
It's pretty nice.
That's
yeah.
classy. That's
it is classy.
Shout out to Rally House.
Listen, I look at that and I say to myself, I do want the basketball one because I do love of course, the classic Arizona Block A inside the basketball logo that they do sport on that. But if it was the real McHale floor with the cactus logo,
oh my God,
my order would have been in already.
Yeah,
I would have sent it to you days ago and said, hey, Kevin, you got to get one of these things. It's unbelievable. But yeah, that football one is pretty sweet. Yeah, I might need a football one.
So does the Lazy Susan. They have an Arizona Wildcats Lazy Susan. That's incredible.
Wow.
Anyway,
back to incredible. The football game. Another thing that's incredible is being an Arizona Wildcats fan, as AZ Cat Dan says. What a great week to be an Arizona Wildcat. It always is. It always is. But it's an even heightened experience in this fine week that we have right now. What a Friday. What a Saturday. Celebrating a football team that could be ranked, Kevin.
I just tweeted it. Rank the Arizona Wildcats now. Rank them now.
Rank them yesterday.
You got 7 votes last week. I believe more votes than the Arizona State Sun Devils.
You did.
And who did we beat this week? So we defeated a what? What
rank?
What rank?
They were 25, so we chain snatch.
Okay, yeah. So and our two like main losses are to, well, I guess you can break down all 3. Our 3 losses are to who?
Well, ranked teams at the time, that's for sure.
Oh. So BYU, Houston, Iowa State, who everybody thought was really good at the time.
They were really good at the time, to be fair.
Huh. The Cats should be ranked.
I love it.
And who would have thought that November 15th, Damon and I would be talking about rank the Arizona Wildcats in football, and will they be higher ranked than the Arizona State Sun Devils?
I'll tell you who didn't think that. ASU fans. Where are all you guys now? Listen, it was all, try not playing a cupcake team. Play a real team. You guys beat up on dog crap, cupcake opponents. We just went in on the road on the East Coast and beat a top 25 team. What now? Because, Kevin, all season long, it's been what's next? What's the next hoop that we got to jump through for you guys to prove to you that we are not a pathetic, despicable, lowly, let's spit on them type of football program, right? And all year it was, make a bowl game, okay? Beat a good team. All right, cool. Now what's next? Beat ASU? Love it. Let's do it in week 12. I'm all for it.
Let's do it in week 12. Vic,
I guess technically right now it's week 12, but week 14, game 12. Game 12.
Yes. Vic in the chat wants to know, how does this affect ASU's title hopes? Us winning helped ASU's title hopes.
It did. Us winning helped ASU's title hopes. And to piggyback on top of that, them winning helped our title hopes in a weird way. Or at least in the way that I'm looking at on the flow chart that Jason Shear put together. It included an Arizona State win included. And this is the path to Arizona making the college football playoff. Rest of the night, Kevin, we need Baylor bad over Utah on the road. That's going to be a big one for us. We need Baylor to beat Utah bad on the road. So if we want any hope at a insane backdoor Big 12 title bid run, we're looking at, we need a Baylor W against Utah tonight. So gonna be an interesting one. And of course, the fact that we still have a path to the college football playoff is absolutely unbelievable.
We're talking about being ranked, man. This is unbelievable. I'm happy to be eating crow about Brent Brennan in this football program right now.
Me too, man.
Because we're talking about being ranked in November. I did not think we would be in this position, even though I was preaching optimism about the BYU losses or the BYU loss and the Houston loss. I still believed that those losses truly hampered your ability to reach 8 wins, which I thought was the ceiling for this year's team. 8 wins. They're 1 win away from that because you got a bowl game with 3 games in hand.
Man.
It's unbelievable. It really is. And you mentioned earlier Noah Fifita having the opportunity to have 2 bowl wins. If he comes back next year.
I'm trying to think who's even done that at U of A.
I don't think anyone.
Has that ever been done?
3 bowl wins in a quarterback career?
Maybe in the 90s. That would be the only time I would imagine that was even possible. And in that time we were running dual quarterback systems and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it would be unheard of. So I got to give credit to where credit is due. Brent Brennan is balling right now. Triple B's, big Brennan brand. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at.
In 97, 98, we won back-to-back bowl games for the only time in our program's history. Oh, wait, no, Rich Rod did it as well. But in those years, we had 2 different QBs, I believe. Yeah, we had Danker one year and Matt Scott another year. Yeah, I think that Noah Fifita might be the first one that would get that W, barring the 1997-1998 years, in which I'm checking currently what the box score of that game was.
I'm pumped. Yeah. I'm pumped about this win. I'm pumped about Arizona football's overall season. I think that the ability to get to where Arizona has gotten to on the back of Brent Brennan so far this season, he deserves so many plaudits. The staff deserves so many plaudits. This locker room deserves so many plaudits. Because I think when you play BYU and you lose in the fashion that you did, sure, Dalton Johnson's instinct is to go out there and say, we just played one of the top teams in the country that close. You know what that makes us? On par with one of the top teams in the country. We hear that, but ultimately as fans, we need to see it be proven with a victory over 40 minutes of football, or however many minutes. You know what I mean? Minutes of football. 45. I don't know. But Brent Brennan's ability to go on the road against Colorado and get a win was impressive in the fashion that they did it. Colorado, they might completely stink, but I think just handling that business was a big step. You come back home, handle business against KU.
Yeah.
Now you're going bowling, and people are saying, okay, hold on. This Brent Brennan guy, he's kind of having a successful season, dare I say, here at Arizona. And now he has a chance to match the highest win total in program history this year if they win out. It's completely unbelievable. Edgar Ortiz says in the chat, is this season a success no matter what? I think
100%.
I think barring like complete 70-0 blowouts against Baylor, ASU, and in the bowl game, this is a successful season. Like barring some sort of unbelievable, terrible form of play to end the year, this is undoubtedly a successful season, Damon. I'm sure you're on the same page there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Listen, I don't know. You might have. I know you said 8 wins is the ceiling, and I remember you saying that. I might have said 7 wins was the ceiling. I don't even remember. I definitely wouldn't have said 9. I'll tell you that much right now. And 9 is a very distinct possibility.
Yeah.
You should beat Baylor. You might be favored against ASU, especially after the way they played at home versus West Virginia today, right? You might be favored in your final 2 remaining games of the season from a Vegas standpoint, and then you have a bowl game. That's 10 potential wins. That's been done like 4 times in Arizona football history. I mean, you're bordering on a legendary type of year, and a year as well that was similar to 2023 in terms of you're peaking at the right time, where you just start winning every game and you start stacking wins, and this team just starts getting addicted to it, right? Like winning is contagious in a way where, you had that drive versus Kansas last week where Noah Fifita and Quincy Craig carry you down the field running the football. And since that moment, it feels like it's like, all right, you know what? We can win every game that we're a part of. Well and truly. And I think to kind of bring this full circle back to the red line thing that we were talking about earlier in the game, when BYU and Houston happened, no one wavered in that locker room. And they played the exact same brand and style of football and did the exact same, ways in which they wanted to execute it the entire time. They didn't waver at all. Now, fans wavered, I wavered, Kevin wavered, people in this chat surely wavered. Not everybody, not saying everybody, but a lot of people were like, you know what, that might be it. It's probably over the way that those 2 back-to-back losses happened. But not that locker room. And you got to absolutely love the way that Brent Brennan, corralled this team and kept them together. Special stuff, man. It really is. Like, this is a connected team. And you could tell that they really care about each other. And now you got a big matchup versus Baylor, who, of course, is playing a very physical Utah team tonight. We need a Baylor W in a weird way, roundabout way. But also, feel free to get beat up a little bit tonight versus Utah. Because Arizona has a big game versus Baylor on the horizon. And as DJM said in the chat here, Kevin, it's sellout time, baby. It's sellout time in Tucson. Like, you got your ranked win. You got your premier win. Now it's time to believe in this program. Kevin. There's been excuse after excuse before, right? Oh, last year sucked. Oh, the tickets are too expensive. Oh, it's too hot outside. Whatever Arizona fans, oh, it's too late. Oh, it's too early. Whatever Arizona fans can conjure up, Kevin, that's what they will find a way to say is the reason that they can't go to the game. No more. I'm looking at $28 tickets. Sorry, that's the best deal Game Time's giving me with the Game Time Picks app. Let's go ahead and look at the cheapest. $9 to get you into the door at Arizona Stadium against Baylor. Saturday, 11:22, time TBD. Who gives a shit about the time? First curse word of the day. Cross it off. Days since last curse word. We're back to 0. I don't give a shit.
You shouldn't, bro.
About what time it's at. It's November. It's not going to be hot. It's a Saturday. I know you got nothing better to do on Saturday night if it's late. Let's support this football program. Support this quarterback who just broke a career record. Support this coach who has done everything he said he was going to do this offseason, even when nobody believed him. 99% of people didn't believe him. Victor Yates might have been the only damn dude alive who believed Brent Brennan when he was talking about, you're going to love every second of it. Right?
Yeah.
The rest of us were like, what the hell is homie talking about? Right?
Yeah. Shout out, Victor.
Brent Brennan has brought this program back. Noah Fifita has stuck through it thick and thin, been as loyal as a college athlete can be in the current state of college athletics. And this team deserves our support, deserves Tucson's support. And Kevin, I might just say it. I want to get down to the game against Baylor.
You should. Go ahead. I'll hold it down here.
Like, for real. Like,
be free, brother.
Genuinely. Like,
fly.
This means everything. We need people in the building. And I'm feeling like putting my money where my mouth is. Because there were some people that were like, oh, are you at the game? last time that there was bad fan support. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not. But I would love to be. I would actually kill to be, but I have a job to do. And you know what? I'll work out with my guy Kevin off air. But if I can go be at the game, I'm going to be at the game, damn it. Damn it.
And I'll say it right now, chat, I am putting this many roadblocks in front of Damon to getting there. I will do whatever it takes on my end to make sure that Damon can get to that game because one of us has to be at that game. Damn it. To quote Brent Brennan, damn it. One of us has to go to the game. I want to win the damn game. Damn it. That's what Brent Brennan said today at halftime, and then you got it.
I want to win, and I want to win the damn game, damn it. And I want to go to the damn game, damn it.
Yes. I'm all
you know
about
what?
it.
Yeah, Brian Edwards, they are excuses. I'm going.
Bang.
I'm going.
Bang.
Because you know what, Kevin? I was actually a little bit concerned about it. I have a streak of I don't even know how long of going to an Arizona football game, and it was up in the air. Because obviously I went to the Colorado game, but I'm talking at Arizona Stadium. And it was up in the air until this moment. But we got to go watch the Cats beat Baylor. It means everything. It really well and truly does.
It does.
But everybody in this chat, be there as well. Kobe, I might take you up on that offer. I'll hit you up in the DMs. You know I will. And as Kobe says, find a way to do the show in the press box. Yeah, or somewhere in the stadium. I will. I will. Fact. Deal.
Deal done.
Deal done.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered. What an absolute weekend, Kevin. I don't even know how to. Like I was talking about this nap I'm about to take after the game was over. I don't know how I can fall asleep. I might not sleep all night tonight. And we might roll this straight into party time, in I don't know 5 minutes. I got to start drinking because it's party time in Tucson. It's party time in the entire state of Arizona, and it's of course with our friends at Three Amigos Tequila. But Kevin, we got to do our temperature check before we get out of here, right? We
Muy caliente.
Yeah.
Muy caliente.
Absolutely. I mean, as Kevin does his second.
All right.
Stereotypical.
All right. Now speaking of language is a stereotype. If I said je pense que mon très froid, is that French appropriation? I took French in college, Damon. Did you take Spanish in your time?
Take it up with the judge, Kevin.
Wow. He said doon doon. He's sending me to the judge. That's
no,
crazy.
Edgar, I'm still gonna work and do the show and everything. So no vacation time, just party time in the greatest city on earth, of course. But shout out Kevin for all of his great references on this show. Muy caliente. This temperature check. Give me a good out of 10 rating here.
Out of 10, right now with Brent Brennan, I'm at about a wheat. It's a little French appropriation for you there. I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8 with Brent Brennan. I feel like I have been consistent in this, I believe. And maybe Damon can fraud check me if I'm wrong. This season, once Brent Brennan put last year behind him and started to shift towards this season, I've been consistent in one thing and one thing only. Is that the team loves him, the staff loves him, and I think for that reason he's moving the program in the right direction. The speed at which he's doing it, we can argue, but I think it's moving in the direction that is positive. Right now, it feels like I have no problems with him coming back for a third year to try to build on this year and build on his first year and continue to right the ship here at Arizona and get some consistency because it feels like that's what he wants. I'm not willing to venture into 9-10 category just yet because that feels like certainty. That feels like I am locked in with Brent Brennan is my guy. And I don't think he's as a coach, as a person, I think he's shown that he represents this program at a very high level. And I think that is important. But in terms of being the leader of the program that gets you to the Big 12 championship, to a CFP, is he that specific guy? He's a lot closer to it than I think we ever thought he could be, right? Because we talk about, for all the mistakes that Brent Brennan has made in his past and this season and last season, team's a couple bounces away from legitimately being in the CFP projections today.
Yeah.
So I think we do have to give him credit where credit is due. If we're going to give him criticisms on nights where he deserves criticisms, I want to give him some plaudits on a day where he deserves a hell of a lot of plaudits. So today, I'm like an 8.5, and that's just reserving the 9 and 10 for true he's on fire type territory. So this is about as high as it gets within reason, 8.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think 8 is very fair. I mean, listen, like 10 being what Jed Fish accomplished in 2023, right? You would have said 10 at that point after how bad the program had been for a number of years.
I probably would have.
After 10 wins, after, the feeling that, your team the year after was going to have a college football playoff opportunity. Like, I think you would have said 10, right?
Probably, yeah.
Brennan has every opportunity to still build some goodwill here. There's 2 more games and a bowl game left to go, Kevin. You go 9-3, and then you make a really solid bowl game, and you get the W in that one. All of a sudden, we're talking 10. I'll be a little bit more modest, though. Definitely, I think 8 out of 10 is about the right range. I'm kind of in between like a 7.5 and an 8 out of 10. I feel pretty good. I feel like this program is stable. I feel like Brent Brennan has this thing cooking, and I feel confident that Arizona is going to be a respectable team with Brent Brennan as its head coach year in and year out. Now, what is the ceiling truly? I think that can be determined by this year and how it ends, right? Like, we can see what in 2 winnable games left, like what that looks like. Like I said, I could be singing a different tune, talking 10 out of 10 when it's all said and done. But right now, I'm feeling very comfortable, feeling very confident in the stability of this program under Brent Brennan.
I'm feeling really confident in it as well. And I think another reason, I think this is not something we touched on today. We touched on it in the last football post game because it was pertinent to that game specifically. But another reason why I feel so much more confident in Brent Brennan is not because he's the same exact guy, but now he's winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's winning and he's evolving in live time in front of our eyes as a head coach. We're not necessarily seeing the same Brent Brennan that we saw week 1 of this year, nonetheless week 1 of last year. He's more assertive. He's more domineering over his team. He seems to be in a lot more control these past couple weeks of not only his sideline, but the referees as well. And I think overall, I think we have to give Brent Brennan plaudits for kind of showing his personality more. And really, I said it on Twitter the other day, kind of growing into his role.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you get into a role, you and I know it very well with this podcast, right? We get into a role, maybe not necessarily like as historically qualified for it. Like, we're not the Nick Saban of podcasting by any means. So we're coming into this.
Speak for yourself.
All right, fair. We're coming into this having to prove ourselves, right? And it takes a while for you to get comfortable, for you to grow into the role, and for you to be able to show your full personality comfortably, right? And I think it affects your work. Because I think once you're able to show your full personality and really, I guess, embody whoever you want to be as a coach, as an engineer, as a burger flipper, you know what I mean? Like, it makes your work better because you're more confident in your work. You're more confident in showing up to work every day and the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're seeing that with Brent Brennan. He's really kind of coming into his own, not only as a coach on the field, but it feels like in the office side of things as well. He's kind of taken the control of the program, and I kind of like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Kevin. Like, Brent Brennan was not a finished product while already being an established coach. And I think that, for a lot of people, you see a season like last year, myself included, and I said this, if you're going to go 4-8 with that roster, you can't win with anybody. Like, you can't win big at Arizona if you're going to go 4-8 with that roster, because that might be the most talented top-end talent you're going to ever get at Arizona. And it turns out that was probably unfair, right? And so now you have Brent Brennan, as you said, developing in the role, figuring out what power college football looks like, right? This isn't the Mountain West anymore. This isn't walk in with the surfboard and pay for dudes' breakfasts. Like, and I know Brent Brennan's the best. He's a great guy. Like, I'm sure that went a long way at SJSU in terms of having his team like feed into what he was buying and literally, and also appreciate their coach, want to play for their coach, right? But at the same time, like, this is big boy football. Yeah. Now, this is the real deal, and it's no more patty cake and smacking a guy on the butt and saying good job, you tried out there. Now it's actually like life or death.
Your
wins
kicker
or losses.
misses a kick. Get the F off my field.
Screaming
now. Go talk to Craig Nivor now. Yeah. Figure it out.
I love it, man. You're seeing the change in Brent Brennan. Like, he's become more intense because this brand of football, this level of football is significantly more intense. And so he's growing with it. He's changing on the job, and you got to love it. Am I like, oh, Brent Brennan's the greatest coach of all time? No, I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. But I do, like I said, I'm very confident in the stability of this program under Brent Brennan. I think that, what he has cooking right now is you can sell that to players. And Arizona has a decent recruiting class in football right now for Big 12 standard. And when you go into the transfer portal, you just grabbed a bunch of FCS guys and turned them into a really good team. Now go after the Power 4 guys and see what that looks like. Because now those guys, instead of being like, oh, Brent Brennan, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Do you watch Arizona last season? They had T-Mac and they sucked.
You have no leverage.
Which was all fair. That was entirely fair.
Yeah.
Now Arizona can go out and say, no, look at what happens when we get the players we want in the building. We win football games. And the final 2 games of this season are going to have a big indication in terms of that as well. We got a lot to talk about in terms of what bowl games we want to go to and all of that noise. We'll be doing that throughout the rest of the week on the AZ Wildcats podcast. I know, Kevin, there was a tweet earlier from Jason Scheer in terms of, I think he said, 1 more win, Sun Bowl, no more wins, LA Bowl, more than 1 more win. We're talking bigger than that. And Arizona already got that W. That was pregame. So we're in Sun Bowl territory right now. In regards to where Arizona could potentially play in the postseason, but season's not finished. And you're going up against a team in ASU as well who, will be competing for a very similar bowl game.
I'm laughing at the joke app again, Damon. As we talk about Brent Brennan, I feel like I got to bring up this tweet from John Wilner.
Please.
At Wilner Hotline on Twitter. Just thinking out loud, and this is a quote from John Wilner. Just thinking out loud, but is Arizona 1 to 2 wins away from Brent Brennan getting a call from his alma mater? UCLA? UCLA?
Maybe. I don't know.
No way, right? No way, right?
I would highly doubt it. I really would. I don't think Brent Brennan, to me at least, I think Arizona's maybe the one other place Brent Brennan would consider home. Outside of UCLA. No, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think
so many connections.
His wife went to U of A. His son's on the team, right? He, which obviously could be changed very fast. His brother played for Dick Tomey. He was a grad assistant in his first coaching opportunity. Like, Brent Brennan is at home in Tucson. I don't think he would leave personally, even if offered that opportunity. But we know our good old pal Jed would crawl to LA if given the chance. Here, I was talking about this with Kevin the other day, though. Arizona fans, in a weird way, have kind of like put Jed Fish in the worst possible box you could be in. And I love it. Like, you leave us in the way that you leave us by lying straight to our faces, we ruin your life.
It's like
we ruin your life.
It's like being in like a small town, right?
Yeah.
And you cheat on a girl, and then all of a sudden, every girl in town knows exactly what you're about. Exactly the lack of morality that you have.
Well,
that's kind of what we did to Jed Fish, right? He left, he wronged us, we got scorned, and we let every program on the West Coast know, don't date this guy. He will screw you over. And then UCLA Washington fell in love, and they're like, oh my God, I can fix him. You can't fix him, man. He's a con artist. That's what he does. That's all I got to say on Jed Fish.
No, he is. Listen, like, Jed Fish for Arizona was like, I'm not going anywhere, and left a week later. Yeah. Now when he goes up there at Washington, he says, I'm not going anywhere. He has to mean it, because guess who's hiring him if he does it again? Absolutely nobody. So that's where I'm saying, like, Arizona fans have put him in this box where he doesn't want to be at Washington. His family hates it in Washington. Washington is not very successful under Jed Fish, frankly. They win their home games, and they lose all their road games. Their one home loss, I'm pretty sure, is against number 1 Ohio State, and they were fairly competitive against them. And then they were losing games against dog crap Wisconsin on the road. Like, and that's the sign of a team that's not being prepared by their head coach properly. I mean, listen, no one would want Jed Fish other than maybe a program like UCLA. But like, when it comes to the Jed Fish and his career, like, we have boxed that man in terms of he can't leave. He goes up there, he says, I have to stay, or I'm staying. He has to stay now. And really interesting stuff going on in terms of that. Wouldn't that be fun if we could play a Washington-Arizona bowl game? I don't think it's possible.
It would kind of make me hurt.
Wouldn't that be the best?
It would hurt me to have to go against Jonah Coleman like that.
Like, you're going. Us.
I know, but I'm saying it would be like, how often are we watching games this year and like a Washington highlight pops up and you're like, God, I hate that school. They took our players. They stole our players. I still feel like, to some extent, yes, they left, but they are still individuals, and you do get quite the bag for leaving sometimes. And that is a coach that believed in you. So I do ride with you on if you switched up, stay over there. But I'm not as hateful towards everybody on that side as other people on that side. You know what I mean? I would like to see some of the former Wildcats succeed, at least individually.
I care less about the players than I do about the coach himself.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
sure.
I would hate to be like, ooh, Dalton Johnson just laid out their running back. Oh, it's Jonah Coleman. Oh, that's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It would be kind of one of those bittersweet. I just want the bowl game to be sweet. So can we just get a team that I want to us to beat the hell out of? That's kind of what I want.
Okay, but so that's where I'll disagree. This is so meaningless conversation too, because it's so hypothetical and it's actually just has no chance of happening. But you don't want to beat the hell out of Washington?
Because what if we don't?
Well, I mean, that's
horrific horror scenes.
That's the dark. No, that's the dark side of it. Listen, it's high risk,
high
reward.
The moon has two sides, Damon.
It's
dark and bright side. That's all I'm saying.
I want nothing more than to beat Jed Fish and say we own you. We own Jed Fish. Like that's a championship for me. Like a parade in Tucson would need to happen.
We kind of already own Jed Fish. Per the point that you just brought up about us kind of putting him in a box, you know, you kind of already own him.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little bro already. You can't move unless we tell you can move. Unless we give you the all clear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about in terms of bowl games the rest of the way. Kevin and I cannot wait to travel out, hopefully meet a lot of you guys if you guys make the trip to wherever a bowl game is. I know AZ Catch G will be there, and he just gave us a super chat, Kevin. I didn't make it out to Cincinnati today, but I will be in Tucson next week. Bear down. Listen.
How dare you?
Now, I didn't expect you to be in Cincinnati. I know I said yesterday wherever the Wildcats play, that's where AZ Catch G is. To be fair, there was a game less than 12 hours ago in Los Angeles that you were at. It would be crazy for us to expect you to get on the AZ Catch G Express and fly across the damn country and go to the next Arizona Wildcats event. But I guarantee you my guy AZ Catch G at least looked up some ticket prices on the plane. Like I know he was like, well, what? I mean, how cheap could this really be if we work it all out? And it just didn't make any sense. But
could I sleep on the plane?
Yeah, we will see him in Tucson. You will see me in Tucson, apparently. And hopefully we will be seeing all of you guys in Tucson, especially Arizona fan Bees, who made it his way into the chat today. Appreciate you, Bees, for rooting on your Wildcats all day long. We're happy to get the dub for you. And listen, feels pretty good on this side, man. That's all I'm saying. Water's warm. Feel free to mosey on in whenever you feel like it. Appreciate everybody for being here on this one.
Are you wrapping it up?
Oh, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, not so fast, my friend. We have a doghouse to divvy out today.
Oh.
We can't let the dogs roam free. The dogs gotta sleep somewhere
right now, though. I'll be honest. I almost wanted to change this doghouse if we won, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about the win because you know it's that's just kind of. You're counting your chickens a little bit early. I don't even want to put the doghouse on the screen right now. I'm switching my late audible on the doghouse
remix.
It was supposed to be Michael Salgado Medina for missing a couple kicks early, but my God, was that last kick nails?
Yeah,
Kevin?
It was nails.
Nails.
Good from hella far.
70.
Yeah, good from infinite. Yeah.
He made his final kicks of the game, and you got to give him credit. Now, I also think our long snapping situation is horrific. If you watch all of these missed kicks, look at where the snap is. None of them are put in good spots. It's a real issue that this team has for sure. But I will say he made his final two kicks, so we got to change it up. We got to go something else. Why don't I go with old reliable, the PHNX Sun Devils crew, who of course predicted that Arizona was done winning football games at 5-3. How did that one work out? What's the record right now, Kevin?
I think it's let me carry the 1, subtract the BYU, subtract 7-3.
I thought that we were going to finish 5-7. That's real interesting. Now looking at 7-3. Now looking at probably being favored in your remaining 2 games of the season. How the turntables. And honestly, just all ASU fans in general who told me that this team was a disaster and a dumpster all offseason. Treated us like garbage, Kevin. Treated us like second-class citizens for even suggesting we could have an average season this year. And guess what? You guys all look like clowns. Clowns with your freaking yellow makeup and your big maroon clown nose.
Honk, 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 honk.
Like, it's just, it's embarrassing. It really is. And both teams are 7-3, and we're gearing up for a really, really fun Territorial Cup game, for which I'm extremely excited about. So, yeah, can't wait. I felt like that's a way more apt Dawghouse. I can't put a guy under the bus today after the biggest win of the Brent Brennan era.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Especially when he made a good play late.
I will say this about Funky Cold Medina is that I tweeted this earlier. There is almost nothing worse in the sport as a fan than watching a team with an unreliable or bad kicker.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is.
College specifically.
I legit wouldn't. I wouldn't even wish it on ASU fans. I wouldn't even do that because it's just such a painful experience, right? To be like, you know what?
I don't know. Last year's college football playoff game against Texas with them not having a kicker was...
No, I know. You get my point, though. You get my point,
and I wished it on them big time in that one.
You get my point, though, is that, you have a positive drive and you're like, okay, you think maybe we can bank 3 here, and then all of a sudden, wide left or wide right or short off the front. And so, yeah, just a rough start for Funky Cold Medina, but as you said, does not matter because he nailed the one that mattered most. So, yeah, I mean, that was a good Dawghouse switch up there, Damon. I'm all about it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Appreciate everybody for being here in this chat. Let's get 50 likes live. We're at 49. We need one person to hit the like button to get that 50 threshold live. And then non-like goal live. Let's get 100.
Ooh.
I want 100 likes on this video. Let's run it up. Help us get to that number, chat. If you are here, you haven't liked the video yet, please do so. Drop a like on this video. Appreciate everybody for being here in this one. Appreciate seeing some new faces here in the chat as well. Of course, we always have the reliable bunch here, whether that's Connor, Bees, Sean, Deborah, Harvey Manfred Jensen, AZ Catch G, all of the staples, right, Kevin? DJ M. And then, of course, you see some new faces in here, and it's great to see those people. Robert right here. We had McDeath. I've seen him before, but was definitely a lot more active today. We have DD up there at the top. So appreciate all of the new faces as well. We do this after every Arizona football, basketball post-game. We do pregame for the bigger basketball games and pregame for every football game. And we have been doing some watch-alongs here on our channel as well for some basketball games, so you guys can watch some Arizona basketball with us. But
you can watch Damon headbutt me live.
Yeah, seriously, man. We can't do football watch-alongs because I would just be too much of a
savage,
a freak. I think is a better way of putting it. The people in the chat today though crushed it. As Edgar says, chat, stand up. Leave a like for yourself, really, truly.
No, definitely.
The support this weekend, not just today, but this weekend has been awesome. And what a weekend to be an Arizona Wildcat. A ranked win in basketball, followed up a mere 12 hours later by a ranked win in football. And we are so blessed to talk about it. I am, of course, Damon Fairall. Follow me at Damon Dog. He's Kevin Thomas. Follow him at KevoPost. And follow us at PHNX_Wildcats on all socials except for TikTok. We're at AZ Wildcats Pod. This is the AZ Wildcats podcast. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and rate and review on your favorite podcasting platform. If you're a YouTube watcher, do the podcasting review. If you're a podcast listener, go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Just hit 47K, road to 50K very, very soon. But appreciate everybody for being here, man. What a day. What a time to be an Arizona Wildcat. Believe in Brent Brennan, believe in Tommy Lloyd, and of course, believe in this fine podcast. Appreciate everybody for being here. Peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. Smiling through it all. I can't believe this is my life.
We all silly like the mayor.